Good morning, everybody. My name's Coach Emmy. I'm just having a couple technical issues this morning, so trying to get those resolved. My computer's not wanting to share. But happy Friday. I am Coach Emmy, Pompa coach here. Today we're going to talk about the lymphatic system. I call it the forgotten system, and just getting a better understanding of like what it is, why it's important, and especially in terms of detoxing, like why we want to really pay attention to it. And hopefully I leave you with a better understanding of that. And then maybe also at the end, I'll talk to you guys about something I've done, super simple and basic, to really just kind of ease into understanding and doing things for your lymphatic system. We don't have to make it too complicated. So I'm going to let some people trickle in here on this lovely Friday morning. So if you guys want to interact, please feel free to throw any questions into the Q&A at any moment during this talk today about the lymphatic system. And I'll just periodically pop in there. We can have a good chat about any questions you guys might have at the end. But I hope everyone is here to talk about the lymphatic system today. It is Friday, yay, right? Just giving people a couple minutes to trickle in here. Let me know where you guys are from, maybe where you're at in the journey here at the Pompa program. Are you just starting? Are you in the middle of it? I'd love to hear that too. It just helps make this like interface a little bit more humanized, right? It's always weird staring at a screen of myself. But I hope you guys are good this Friday morning, and I'm a little tired. I wonder if we have any country music fans in the attending today. Anyone like country music? Let me know if you do. I went and saw Chris Stapleton last night. Really good show and fun, but I didn't get home until 1 o'clock this morning. So late night. But lots of dancing, which guess what is good for the lymphatic system. Anyways, I'm going to turn my screen off here for a second, let a couple people more trickle in, and then we will start our chat about the lymphatic system. Excited you guys are here. Happy Friday. Okay, guys. I think we've got most of the people that responded that they're going to be here. We'll let other people come in as they can today. Again, we're talking about the lymphatic system, very basic. I just want to give you guys a really good understanding of what the system is, what it does, why it's important, and kind of how it's related to what you're doing in this program in terms of detox. We love to overcomplicate things in our culture, don't we? Just human nature. It doesn't need to be complicated. It's really quite simple. But just, I call it the forgotten system because it's just something that we forget about. It's not as popular as the cardiovascular system, for example. And right, there's so many systems in our body. It's like, how can we keep up with all of them? We got the nervous system, we've got the cardiovascular system, we've got the circulatory system, we've got the endocrine system, there's so many systems, right? But the lymphatic system is like the redheaded stepchild is what I would say, kind of forgotten. So we'll talk about that today. Again, I love interaction. Let me know who you are, where you're from, what stage of the journey you guys are on. Please put all your questions in the Q&A. That's helpful. I will check the chat too, because sometimes it gets confusing. People put questions in the chat, questions in the Q&A. Try to pop them all into the Q&A, and hopefully I can answer those before we get off today. So happy Friday. Welcome, everybody. I see some country fans in here. I was telling the crew earlier, I went to Chris Stapleton last night, got to see him. So if you're a country fan, you know who I'm talking about. So Larry's country. Got Camille from Minnesota, starting second month of body phase. Awesome. Did you say first aid kit band? First aid kit band. Chris Stapleton. You're talking about what band I saw last night? Chris Stapleton. I saw him last night, and the opening act was Grace Potter. Really awesome. All right. And Larry gets a weekly lymph drain. That's magical. I'm so jealous, right? But even if you don't have access to getting manual lymph massage or lymph drain or anything like that, there are ways we can help our lymphatic system ourselves. All right. So I will come back to the questions in a minute, you guys. I'm going to share my screen right now. And hopefully this works because I was having some technical issues today. All right, you guys. And I might have to turn my video off because it wasn't allowing me to do this. Let's see here. All right. Let's see if this is going to work for me. Okay. All right. So here we are. Like I mentioned before, I refer to the lymphatic system as the forgotten system. It's something that is really imperative to our bodies, especially in the drainage department, right? But oftentimes it's like, what is it? How do I help it? What happens, or what do I pay attention to if maybe I do have a stagnant lymphatic system? But in order to really do things to help our lymphatic system, we really actually need to understand what it does, right? So what is it? I want you guys to think about this picture. The visual is really just like an intricate system of water, rivers, inlets, you know, and they're all carrying water to and from something, whether it's a river extending to an ocean. I want you to visualize that because that's basically what your lymphatic system is. It's literally a transportation system in your body, and it's like you're wearing it. It's like a suit, a waterway suit, because that system is really throughout the entire body. It is truly part of the body's drainage system, which is why it's also important when we're doing detox to pay attention to it, right? When your lymph is flowing properly, you are able to balance fluid and also fight infections and move toxic waste out most efficiently. So that's how it's related to what you guys are doing, the work you're doing here in the program. So that is what I want you to visualize when you think about what is my lymphatic system. So again, I think when we're doing things to assist our health and wellness, for me personally, I always like to understand what it is and how it works. Because if you think about it that way, I do think that you can heal better and more efficiently. That's just my mindset. So there's a connection and importance to the lymphatic system that I kind of want to put together so you guys understand how it's connected, the lymphatic system, how it's connected to your immune system, to your circulatory system, because it's literally the sewage system of your body. So this visual right here is of a drain, sewer drain, right? Picture that. That is your lymphatic system. Literally, it is removing waste fluid from the cells, right? So these cells that are pushing waste out have to put it somewhere. So it's going into the waterway system, right? That's how it's getting filtered out of the body and pushing through those lymph nodes. I'll explain kind of that in a minute, but that's your waterway system, removing waste fluid from the cells. So it's literally your filter, your trash can, however you guys want to look at it, right? So I don't want to do that yet because I want to explain a little bit. It sort of mimics the circulatory system in a way. But the problem with the lymphatic system, it doesn't have a pump, right? It's not like the heart pumping the blood. That's the cardiovascular system. The lymphatic system really doesn't have anything to move it except for muscle contraction or manual, right? So another key reason why we have to pay attention to it is because it doesn't have an assistant. Unless you're moving your body or you're actually manually lymph draining, it's not going anywhere, right? It's a huge part of your immune system, right? It's the white blood cells in our immune system that combat any kind of illness or disease. It neutralizes that are invading the body, those little lymph node organs that are clustered around those major joints. It's the cellular suit that cleans those, right? It's quietly functioning. It's quietly functioning and maintaining that immunity. So when you're getting sick, right, that waste that's building up in our body while we're fighting infection, those cells are going to move that waste through your lymphatic system. Okay, so it's kind of also makes sense when you are sick that you get these swollen lymph nodes, right? It's a collection of waste that kind of builds up in those nodes. So if you imagine that, the sewer system that you're looking at right now, a bunch of waste starts going through there and there's no proper draining going on, it's going to back right back up, right? Right back up and come right back out. All right. So that's the connection and importance. I also think it's just really important to understand, okay, what do I look for? How do I know if I am congested, if my lymph system is congested, right? Good thing to remember. These little lymph node organs, they're all over your main joints, right? Just like I had said before. Lymph only moves in one direction. So the little flaps, there's a lymph node and there's little flaps at the back. And if those are stagnant, if they're clogged, then just think about what's happening to the plumbing in your body, right? It's like building up sewage, building up waste. It's going to make you feel sick. You can have swollen hands and feet. That's a sign of lymph congestion. Also, chronic fatigue makes sense, right? Because if your plumbing is carrying junk and it's not going anywhere, that junk's just sitting in your body, making you feel very fatigued. Your body's really trying to work harder than it needs to, right? Headaches can be a sign of lymph congestion. I think a third of our lymph nodes are actually located collar up. So a lot of them in the head, right? Sinus congestion, those things. That means things aren't draining. So headaches, if you get sick easily, that cellular waste is not being carried through the water system and pushed out, right? So it's sticking in there. The infection in the tissues and the cellular waste is creating that sickness to linger around a little bit longer. Oftentimes people are weight loss resistant for several reasons, right? So it's not just one thing, but it could be partly due to a stagnant lymphatic system, truly. And I said before, sinus infections for sure. The reason why I love this subject, by the way, is because I myself have a stagnant lymphatic system, unfortunately, right? It's just something that I have to pay attention to, but it's kind of a passion of mine. So these are signs of congestion, you guys, just to give you an idea of some of them, okay? All right, I want to talk about the termini. There's a start and an end point when you're doing lymphatic massage. The termini are as both of those. They are both your starting and your end point. And I'm going to actually visually show you guys this in a second. But for some reason, my computer doesn't want me to have my video on and share my screen this morning. So I'm doing one thing at a time. So when I come back, don't worry, I'm going to show you guys where these are. But if you see the picture of the collarbone right there, you're going to see the two bones. Those are your clavicles. Okay, the two bones sticking out. If you go right above that, I wonder if my cursor will show. This is considered your termini. So right above your clavicles on both sides, consider that like your sewage drain, that picture I just showed you guys. Okay, this is your start and your end point when you're doing lymphatic massage. All fluid drains into the subclavicle veins right here. So if these are clogged right here, you guys, nothing's moving. So when you do your lymphatic massage, which I'll show you very simply in a second, this is where you're going to start. Seems counterintuitive, doesn't it? Right? But this is the opening of your body. All fluid drains into these, all of it. So you're right. When we're working on our right side, and I'll show you, I guess, that I'm flipping that side. The right side drains your head, your neck, the right arm, and the right breast. The left side does the rest of the body. So that's kind of how that, go back to that waterway system. That's what it looks like right under your skin, actually, the cellular suit. So termini, that's just key. All right. All right, this is a really good visual. I'll show you guys at the end so you can screenshot this. I'll pull up just this poster. This poster I got from, I can't pronounce her last name, Dr. Caitlin is who I call her, Doc Tox Detox. Highly, highly recommend following her on YouTube. She has some great videos. She is an expert on the lymph system, okay? This is her poster, and it's just showing you direction for proper lymphatic drainage. This is as if you're gonna do a full body one. We are not getting complicated today. We're gonna be simplistic. Some of you may, you know, like Larry, maybe he knows the lymphatic system a little more intricately because he gets massages, it sounds like. But for a lot of us, we're just beginning, right? So let's not overcomplicate it. I'm going to teach you guys how to do something very basic. But this just gives you a good idea of direction for proper lymphatic drainage. You're going to see counterintuitively, right, that you're not going down. You're actually brushing up, because why? We need these guys, the termini, to be the main drain holes. That's where all of this lymphatic fluid, if it's building up, is going to go into. Hopefully you guys can see my cursor because I'm trying to like point out, these are the termini, okay? These are just some main lymph node points. Look at all of these guys right here. Look at all these lymph nodes that are down here in the growing area, right? Super key, also abdomen, okay? When you're doing your lymphatic drainage, you use your hands. You can use your dry brush, gua sha. Even if you don't know what these are, I'm going to explain them after this. And follow the direction of the arrows for maximum results. Very gentle strokes. Drainage basics. I'm going to demonstrate this when I stop sharing my screen. You basically are going to use your middle and ring fingers, and you are going to do a very gentle and slow pump in the direction of the termini when you're doing your own lymphatic drainage massage. The reason why we use the middle and ring fingers is because the index finger we use so often, it's almost too strong. And you don't need to really push hard at all to get that lymphatic system draining, because like I said before, it exists right under the skin. So it's very gentle and slow, and you pump it multiple times in the direction of the termini to get it flowing, right? We're going to give it some assistance with some pumping, gentle and slow. All right, we did talk about those. This is another poster. It just showed you lymph node locations. I'm not training people on doing the order of the full body drainage today. That would be a whole other webinar for sure, which we could do easily, but I'm going to share some resources for you guys to go ahead and do on your own after this webinar. Dr. Caitlin being one. This just shows you the lymph node locations, because again, I think it's really important for us to visualize, right, what's going on in our body, where those nodes are. A node and a vessel are different things, right? The node is actually that round circular thing that you can sometimes feel when you're sick, right? If you get swollen lymph nodes, that's the node. The vessels are that waterway system. The vessels are what you see here in the blue, okay? But you can see where these nodes are located. Termini being number one, remember, that's the collarbone. That's the start and the end point. You've got some right under the clavicle, obviously the armpit. Don't forget about the face up here. I'll show you guys visually when I can share my screen, but it's like right at the base of the jawbone, and then up above by the ear. Back of the head, we've got 2 points here on either side behind the ear, and then one on the base, you know, of where the skull and the spine meet right there. Big ones. Abdomen, huge one. That's going to help obviously drain this whole area. You've got 2 points, one on your, inner arm, wrist, and then a ton, obviously, right around here. And you're growing. If you think about this, this is like top to bottom. It's draining your bottom, or draining your top into the bottom. And then you've got two behind your knees. Sometimes people will notice these are actually swollen. If you see a puff mark, that's usually a sign that you've got some stagnant lymph down here. Especially if people feel heavy legs. That's what I call it, the heavy leg syndrome. It's probably some fluid buildup. It sounds weird, but you can actually like smack the back of your knees lightly, not too hard, to help those actually open up. But remember, before you do anything like that, you always open the termini. And then a couple down here around the ankles. So those are your main lymph nodes right there, just so you understand where those are, okay? We've got other ways that we can clear besides doing manual. I mentioned gua sha. It's actually like kind of a stone blade that they've used, not blade, but like it's got a rounded corner. And that you use it in various areas of your body as a way to kind of smooth out and push out, just right along the skin where your vessels are, and getting that lymph moving. You can use a tool like the gua sha, and I'll show you what that looks like in a second. Dry brushing, big one. I've got a dry brush right by me in a second, and I'll show you guys that. Very light brushing of the skin, just same directions as if you're doing manual lymph massage, right? We're gonna open the termini, and then we're gonna start doing our dry brushing. And we're gonna go towards, towards the chest, okay? Rebounding. Maybe some of you guys here have rebounders. Awesome, awesome, awesome way to get the lymphatic system moving. And you don't even have to jump that long, maybe 5-10 minutes, especially for those of us that are in front of the computers all day. If you're sitting down all day, get on a rebounder for 5 to 10 minutes. Awesome. Walking, simply just walking will move your lymphatic system. So that's free, effective, super simple. Shaking too, just getting up and doing like a little shake, body shake or whatever. Or like I mentioned, I was dancing last night for 4 hours. I got my lymphatic system moving. It's a great way to move that. Vibration therapy. Some of you might have vibration plates. If you don't know what that is, I will show you. I have one myself. It's been a game changer. There's a lot out there. You do not have to spend $600 on the power plate. If you have that, awesome, but it's not necessary. Vibration therapy is just literally standing on a vibration plate, and it's really activating that lymphatic system. I always tell people, like, try to avoid the tight clothing, okay? For women, the bras can be very constrictive right in those areas, right? Where we're like trying to have lymph flow. So, I get that you have to wear them, but if you don't, for those times where you can just relax at home, I say take that off. A lot of the new yoga pants, right, that are those compression tights, that even go high waist, those are compressing your lymphatic system and kind of holding in. We want to make sure that's flowing. So if you have to wear them for a workout, awesome. I would highly suggest not walking around in them all day. Just giving your body breathing time, right? Avoiding that tight clothing. And then hydration and supplements. Huge, right? It's a waterway system, right? Our body is like 60-70% water. We need hydration in order for that to flow. We don't want a dried up waterway system. We want a flowing one. And then of course there are supplements. So if you're really having a hard time getting that lymphatic system moving yourself, you might need some extra assistance for a period of time with some supplements. And I'll share a couple of those with you guys in the store when I get off here. Further learning, screenshot this if you guys want. Dr. Caitlin, I mentioned her. She's the one with that cool visual I just showed you guys. Doc Talks Detox. She is on Instagram. That is her handle. She's also on YouTube. And she has really great, simple videos to follow. She's probably one of my favorites. Kelly Kennedy, she's considered like the lymph queen, I think. Also, YouTube has some great information on the lymphatic system. Lymph Love Club, That's another one. I think you can actually take some classes through her site. So check her out. Dr. Perry Nicholson, if you guys have not watched that interview with Dr. Pompa in the portal, it's under module 7. Stop Chasing Pain is his company. He's amazing. His story. If you guys go look him up, he was very, very sick, and healed himself. And now he's a big advocate, training all of these people on how to really use your lymphatic system to further your healing. It's a great support therapy. So I highly suggest watching that interview. And if you're really interested in looking further, check him out, Stop Chasing Pain. He also offers classes. If you guys are in the position where you can go and get a lymphatic massage, that's amazing. Look for a clinical lymphatic therapist, someone that has been trained in maybe the Vader method. Dr. Vader is kind of like, the grandfather of this specific lymphatic drainage massage. I will tell you, if you haven't had one, it's a little different. Don't go in there expecting you're getting any deep tissue. You might feel like, what was that? It was like nothing. But remember, the lymphatic system sits right under your skin, so there's no need to go deep when we're doing manual work, right? It's just really soft and gentle, but extremely effective. So find someone who is a clinical lymphatic therapist and knows what they're doing. Because it's not cheap. So you want to make sure that your money is spent effectively. So that's just some further learning for you guys, and I'll share some more in a second. So that's really, really basic, understanding your lymphatic system, huge part of your immune system, right? Huge part of detox in general. And making sure that moving that fluid is going to improve every function in your body, because it's connected to all systems, truly, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do, stop sharing this, check the Q&A, and then I'm going to show you guys something simple that I do, and then point out some other resources. Okay. All right. So back. All right, I'm checking the chat first. Carla is from Alabama. You are in the end of your first month of body phase. Awesome, Carla, welcome. Our Roads, day 3 of prep, brand new to this program. I'm in California. Well, welcome. I'm also in California. Day 3 of prep, you're brand new. Good for you. I mean, you're already like going to be successful by showing up to this webinar, day 3 of starting. That's amazing. And then, okay, this one just says Zoom user. Could we have just a couple of these symptoms? Not all. Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to have all those symptoms. And in fact, as you will learn, if you haven't already, symptoms are our body's way of giving us a message. So it's not a bad thing, but we need to pay attention to them. And some of them can have crossover, right? There could be other things causing some of the things I mentioned, the swollen hands and feet. But essentially, your lymphatic system, like I said before, works with every system in the body. So paying attention, you want the pump working, you want your pump working, you want your circulatory system working, you want your lymphatic system working, especially as you get into the body phase and brain phase and beyond, as you're detoxing, right? Because we're intentionally pulling stuff out. We're intentionally pulling the junk out. So we want that waterway system, to be really nice and flowy. But no, to answer your question, you may have just a few of these. Does not mean you have to have all of those. I get heavy legs. That is a sign of stagnant lymphatic system. So I have a vibration plate, which I'll show you guys in a second, and I get on that thing and it helps me tremendously. So you got to figure out what works for you, right? Let's see, questions. Okay. Michigan, Marlene's from Michigan, welcome, starting body phase, perfect. The only thing that works effectively has been Pompa's drain. Which one, Larry, are you using? Are you referring to the drainage enhancer, or did you add another supplement? Tell us, what works for you. I really love it's Des Bio is a homeopathic. We have it in the store. Des Bio has a lymphatic drainage. That's the name of the supplement, and I love that one. So, again, sometimes you have to try different things. What works for one person's not going to work for another. I found, okay, awesome. So I doesn't look like I have any specific questions. Did you guys have any specific questions to any of the information I was sharing? If not, then I'll start kind of like showing you guys some resources. And if you have further questions, then pop them into the Q&A for me and I'll check back in a second. Okay. All right. So first thing I want to show you guys is, let me go back to that picture. Okay. Screen is sharing. No? Hang on, people. Sorry about that. I'm trying to pull up the poster in a bigger form, but I don't know. Can you see that? I feel like I don't see it. Let's see. Maybe I blow it up. Hopefully you guys can see this. Termini. I want to show you how to do this because this is what I do. This is super duper basic. So for those of you that are just starting to learn about lymphatic system and want to do something to help yours, on a regular basis, this is how I started. I do a little bit more full body now, but when I started, I was like, "Ooh, this is like really complicated." The first place I started really was just the termini. Like I said, that's the start and the end point, right, you guys? The termini again are located number one right here. Okay, right above the collarbone. That's your drain. Everything starts and ends here. Everything drains into these. So before you do anything, even like before you get on a vibration plate or a rebounder or you dry brush or do any of those things, always open the termini. Okay, so let me stop sharing that for a second and I'll show you. I purposely wore this shirt because it's bright and I want everyone to have a good Friday, but also so I could show you my collarbones. Let me get this necklace out of the way. So collarbones, right? Termini right here. Remember the fingers that we use to do this are going to be these two right in the middle, ring, middle. Okay. And we are going to do like what I call a gentle pumping action. So if I demonstrate right here, collarbone, termini. Okay. Pumping action. You're going to go in the direction of the termini. So can you guys tell how like lightly I'm doing a pump action? I'm not doing this. Don't need to do the circulatory. Just a very gentle, slow action. Everyone likes to know how many times should I do this? I'm going to tell you, it depends on the person. You might have to do it only 10 times, but if someone's got a stagnant lymphatic system, you might have to do it more. All right, so this is where I start first. You can do two at the same time, and you're just going to open your termini. It's the first place you start, and this is how I started. I just did it this way. This is the one I did. I was like, I did this 10 minutes. I spent 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the evening. I opened the termini, and when I did this, I added legs up the wall. Also very good for your circulatory system. Who knows what legs up the wall is? I'm going to try to find my picture so I can demonstrate that. Does anyone know what legs up the wall is? Anyone? Put it in the chat if you guys know. I'm going to try to find my picture so I can show you what I'm talking about. I know I have a picture of a lady doing it. So here she is. Let's see if I can share this, you guys. Legs up the wall and opening your termini is a very simple thing you can do. Everyone's got at least 5 minutes in the morning and at least 5 minutes at the end of your day to do this. Legs up the wall. So literally, see, you can do this wall. Imagine there's a wall right here. Her bum is like right up against the floor wall. Okay, 10 minutes. And while you're down there doing this, you can take your middle and ring finger and just gently open the termini right there. Okay, this is gonna help you. Plus the legs up the wall drains all that blood that's been like pooling all day. When you get back up, it's giving you a whole new replenished blood system. So legs up the wall, it's also very good for calming your nervous system, which is why I tell people do it before you go to bed. Super awesome. So that's what I did. This is all I did. I started and did this for like 30 days. And in those 30 days, I also learned a little bit more from those resources I shared with you guys. Dr. Caitlin, Kelly Kennedy, and also don't forget, let's go into this portal because I want to just share with you guys where that module is. Hang on a minute. Let's get out of this. There we go. So let me share this. If you guys haven't watched this, I highly recommend it. So go into the portal, blow this up. All right, so here we are in the portal, guys. You're going to go into that core program and you're going to scroll all the way down to module 7, detox support therapies. That's where you're going to find that how to clear your lymphatic system. It's a longer interview. It's about an hour. This is the one with Dr. Perry Nicholson. His company is called Stop Chasing Pain, but he's awesome. And I encourage you guys to go and watch this to get a little bit further, deeper understanding of the lymphatic system and how important it is, okay? If we were to go into the store, I'm going to show you guys a couple of products that I like. This one, I think I mentioned Dust Bio. It's a homeopathic. For those of us that don't want to take any more capsules, this might be a good option for you guys, right? Lymph drainage. That's if, you find that you're doing all of these things and you're still having a problem with your lymph system, maybe bringing in some extra support is a good idea. Okay, so that's one. There's also this one, Sang. That's another good herbal. Of course, what you guys are taking right now, you've got your drainage enhancer that covers your lymph. But for some of us, we just need a little more specific and extra support to stack on. So something like this might be useful as well. And then lymphogenic is another option. Okay. Now, the Sang also comes in a liquid version. So for those of you that would prefer a liquid version, some of these products come in liquid version. So check that out in the store. Okay. Or ask your coach too. Your coach can help guide you as well. Remember, if you guys go into the how-to document, remember where that is in the core program under module 1, the toolboxes are there to help you too, right? And the toolboxes are going to give you some options. I don't know why it always does this to me. Let's try this again. There we go. So your toolbox is going to help you also look at some lymph support. We talked about the Sang, lymph drainage, Lymphlex. Okay, so you can use that. Of course, talk to your coach too. They'll always guide you. And then I want to show you guys what a gua sha looks like. It's this tool. Get them on Amazon, Target. A lot of them are made out of like rose quartz or just jade, but that's kind of what it looks like, you guys. And you see how she's using it. Okay. I'll show you where those two things are in your face too, because I told you they've got a lot of drainage up here, like a lot, right? Especially if you got the chronic sinus infection. Draining your face is going to be awesome. But don't forget to open the termini before you do anything else. But that's what a gua sha tool looks like. Vibration plate. I want to show you guys. That looks like. Do you see this woman? She's just standing on it. It's actually like remote control. You just flip it on. And they range anywhere from obviously $130 to like $600. You do not need a fancy machine. But a lot of people love these. This is going to really help that lymphatic system, okay? Because remember, it doesn't have a pump like the heart does for the cardiovascular system. So we have to actually manually do it ourselves. So that's a vibration plate. That was another tool that I was sharing with you guys. And then I will show you dry brushing. You want to get something like a brush you can get at Target or Amazon that looks kind of like this. I have this handheld one. It's easy for me to manipulate. you don't want bristles that are hard, right? Because, and you don't want them too soft, but you really don't want them too hard because you'll break your skin. Not a good idea. So you want something fairly gentle. And I just like this handheld one. And when you're dry brushing, okay, remember, remember the lymph system is right under the skin, right? So when we're doing, even just like doing some massage here, you don't need to do very much that sits right under the skin. Same with the dry brush. Okay, so if I'm like gonna do some lymph massage, I'm gonna do moving up towards, guess what? The chest and the termini, because I'm trying to drain it that way. So I know you guys can't tell, but I'm really not doing a very hard brush. I'm doing very gentle strokes and going up towards the termini. Okay, so that's what dry brushing is. Do you guys want me to show you those posters so you can screenshot? Would that be helpful? Let me know, and also pop any more questions into the Q&A if you guys have any. Carla, lay with legs up the wall. Yes. Was that a question, or do you do that? Because if you do that, so awesome. Legs up the wall, you literally lay on the ground and you just prop up so pretend this is my butt, this is the floor. And you just put your legs up the wall, and I do that for 10 minutes. And while I'm doing that, I just work on my lymph. I open my termini. And I actually sometimes I'll just put in some music because it's doing three things. Okay. It's moving your lymphatic system. It's actually helping your circulatory system because, especially if you've been standing or sitting all day, it's getting that blood go back, almost cleaning your blood. And it's putting you into a parasympathetic state, relaxed state, which is why I tell people do it before bed, right? Especially if you have problems sleeping, it's an awesome way to get yourself in a very calm state, right? So our road says, do you brush your whole body? Yes, I do. I don't always have time for it, so make time. Sometimes you can do it in the shower, make it work for your life. If you're a super busy person running out, make it, double up on something, but you can do it in the shower. And yeah, I do my whole body. I think I told you guys I have sometimes that heavy leg syndrome. I have a stagnant lymphatic system. So I really have to be vigilant with this system in my body because it's just, that was just what I got. You know what I mean? But detoxing and understanding how my body works and doing this for many years, I've also understood where my weak points are. And you will do that. You will understand that too, you guys, through this program. It's extremely helpful in bringing awareness to your own body and how your own body works and what you have to be more vigilant about, right? Because we're not all the same. But it is important, right? So I was also one of those kids was sick all the time, had ear infections. I had my tonsils out, my adenoids out, you name it. So it's not shocking that I have a stagnant lymphatic system, but I didn't know that when I was 7, So yes, totally brush your whole body. It's also really good for just basic skin exfoliation, right? So there's a lot of dual benefits to these things, guys. And it just takes a little bit of time. That's it. Okay, so let me make sure. Yes, okay, so Larry, Drainage Enhancer has been the best for you. So that's awesome. I love that. It's a great supplement, right? Okay, yes, screenshot. Okay, so let's go back to that. And then it's about 45 after. If you guys have any lingering questions, please ask. Other than that, I'll share these posters with you guys so you can screenshot, and then I'll let you go on your fun day. Hopefully fun day, right? Okay. So let me blow this up for you guys. Let's see if I can get there. Okay. So let me move this out of the way. Go ahead. And this is Doc Talks Detox. This is her poster. So this is a lymph vessel. Take a screenshot of that one. I'll leave that up for a second. Okay. All right, then let me get the other one up too. So this is really showing you the direction, right? It's the direction for proper lymph drainage. And then let me get the other one up for you guys. Where did that one go? Hang on a second. was here. Hmm. I don't know where it went, you guys. It was here and now it's not here. Oh, there we go. All right. Thanks for being patient, you guys. Oops, that's the same one. Not the one I want. Here we go. All right, this is the other one. So it's showing you also where those main lymph nodes are. And as you get into this more, don't overcomplicate it. Don't try not to start like, like in doing all of it. Just start with the termini, but really looking at this as proper order for full body drainage, so that'll give you, go ahead and screenshot that. Hopefully you guys got that. Okay. I also love this. Thought maybe I'd share this with you guys too. Here we go. You guys see that? Or are you just seeing me? Looks like you're just seeing me. So let's try this again. Wow, I'm really having problems with sharing today, guys. I apologize. That is not, I'm not gonna be able to share that drainage funnel. So I'll have to post that in the Facebook group just so you guys have a visual of what that drainage funnel looks like. Okay. Let me pop back in the Q&A. Any other questions, you guys? Okay, so Camille says, how would you recommend using gua sha for face lymphedema? Big Six and use of rebounder have helped a lot. That's awesome. Along with manual drainage with head neck lymphedema after head neck cancer surgery and 30 rounds of intense radiation. Oh, my heart goes out to you. Face is still puffy some and want to address further. 2 years out from surgery and radiation. First of all, I love that you're here. And you're a warrior, Camille. So you're in the right place. So gua sha for face lipedema. Okay, so let's talk about that. You're going to open the termini, obviously, before you do anything. And you know this if you've been doing that, if you've been doing the big six, right? But you've got this right here, right? At the crest of your jaw back here in your ear, okay? And then you've got this one right here, which is right below, okay? Take the gua sha. I wish I had a gua sha with me, but I don't. What if I could just use my phone? Let's be industrious. Pretend this is a gua sha, okay? And I'm gonna take that after I open my termini, all right? And I'm gonna take that gua sha and I'm gonna move that this way towards this lymph. And then I'm gonna move that down, okay? So use the gua sha that way. It's even got a little notch that actually like follows the cheekbone to go to this lymph right here. And then we're going to drain here. So use the gua sha that way for that facial lymphedema. I'm wondering too, Camille, if you have gotten any, if you are able to get lymphatic drainage massage from a certified therapist. The reason why I'm saying this is there are therapists out there that specialize in cancer, post-cancer lymphatic drainage. And if it's concentrated up here, that might really help you even further than what you're doing now. But I hope that answered your question. Did that answer your question? Okay, so Marlene, I'll show those in 1 second. Larry, you're super welcome. Thanks for coming. I hope that was useful for you. Camille, let me know if that answered your question about gua sha for face lymphedema. The other thing that's really cool if you use the gua sha is put it in the freezer for like, a little bit before. That cold is probably going to make it feel really, really good. So hopefully I helped you out with that one. Camille, let me know. Marlene, let me share those posters again. Hopefully I can get them up because like I was saying before, I am having a little issue with my share situation today. So let me pull them up. Give me 1 second. In the meantime, let me know if I answered all your questions or if you have any more. We've got like 10 minutes before we have to really go. Let's see here. Let's start. I wanted to just pull it up by itself because it's small on my slides. So let's, okay, this is the first one. Screen sharing paused. I don't know why. Hold on, let's see. I don't know why it's pausing me. Let's try this one more time. Yeah, I don't know why it's being quite difficult. I'm gonna try to get out of this. Okay. Stop share. It's being quite difficult, guys. I apologize. If I have to, I'll go back and in my slides and yeah. Do you see it's saying screen share paused? It's not wanting me to share. Let's see if I turn off my video, if that helps again. Huh. All right, Marlene, for some reason, it is not letting me share. So what I'm gonna do, if you pop your last name into my chat, or the Q&A, I'll make sure that I get that sent to you so you have those posters, okay? Apologize, guys, for that. Okay, Camille, I did, thanks. I'm doing on my, yep, I have been putting in fridge, awesome. Tongue lymphedema too, hard third of tongue removed and still issues with lymphedema there too. That's interesting that it's in the tongue. The tongue is a muscle, but are you saying that you're getting swollen tongue? Okay. Yeah, good question that would be a good question to actually ask, I think, Dr. Perry. He'd be more an expert because if you're getting lymphedema in the tongue, seems more vascular, because the tongue is muscular. So I would actually pose that question to either Dr. Pompa or Dr. Perry himself. He's usually pretty good about answering questions if you go to his Stop Chasing Pain site to talk about that. But you're awesome. You're a warrior. Keep going. I'm glad you're here. Okay, let's see. All right. I have chronic migraines after having 3 brain aneurysms clipped. Would the gua sha help the migraines? It could. I mean, you might as well give it a try. It's a really inexpensive tool to use. And it's going to maybe, move some of that blood flow, right? Because most migraines really happen because we have restricted blood flow. So it could certainly help some circulatory issues that gua sha could. If you're getting chronic migraines, you might even want to talk to your coach about getting some additional supplements that can help blood flow to the brain. There's a couple in the store I think of right now is Eventa, EVENTA. And also there is a magnesium that crosses the blood-brain barrier that can sometimes help at high doses with chronic migraines. And I used to have it on my counter, but it's by Life Extensions. And the magnesium type is magnesium L-threonate. So L-THREONATE. Talk to your coach about that, but it would be worth doing gua sha if you get some kind of relief. Just help that blood flow for those chronic migraines, for sure. Okay. All right, I'm gonna screenshot Larry Larson so I can send posters to you guys. What did I just do? There we go, capture. And then Marlene, you need a poster too, because I can't seem to share. I'm gonna try one more time before we get off, you guys, to see if I can do that. Camille, you're welcome, you know? That's what we're here for. So just keep doing what you're doing. You guys are all warriors, okay? And also you're going to be successful because you're engaged in your healing process. And honestly, that's a big piece of it. That's where I see people like successful. So keep coming to these webinars and learning, and we learn from you guys too, and we learn from each other. Right? Okay, so let me try one more time. Let's see if it'll help me today. It's not working. That's frustrating. Sorry, guys. I will make sure that these posters get to you. Marlene, I'm sorry that you weren't able to screenshot that, but I will get that to you. I don't know what your last name is. If you're still on, Marlene, let me know so I can make sure I get those to you. Larry, I know you want them too. Any more questions, you guys? I think I got everyone in here answered. Listen, my voice is starting to go out. I need to go do some lymphatic drainage. It's from all the singing last night at the concert. Okay, guys, give me a thumbs up or heart. Let me know if this was helpful. If you think doing more of this and maybe going into more depth would be helpful for you guys. And if I don't have any more questions, I'm going to sign off. And thanks for the thumbs up. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your Friday, a great weekend. Keep chugging along through this healing process. Keep coming back. I think there's some webinars after me. Awesome, Larry, you got it. And there is a Q&A. Thank you. I think it's R Rhodes. I don't know your first name, but thank you. There is a Q&A tomorrow. So if you guys have questions just in general about detox or anything, jump on that. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it. Thanks you guys for joining. All right, everyone have a great weekend. Okay, bye-bye.